Here we go, it's all about you, it's all about me, it's all about what we do. Making art, you and me, trying to find something to believe because I'm running wild.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Today I have for you the unpopular makeup opinions tag. And I don't think that I was necessarily tagged by anybody, but I think I watched it on Sarah Kay's video and I think she left it open to whomever would like to do it. So I would like to do it. You guys know I like tag videos. So there are 10 questions, and if you'd like to hear my answers to those questions, then please keep on watching. All right, the first question is a popular product that you don't like. There's two that come to mind right away. One of them is the Milk Blur Stick. I've heard so many people say that they love it for filling in pores, for blurring the texture of their skin, and just giving a nice base for foundations and such. I don't have it because I gave it away because I don't like it. Another one is Kat Von D Liquid Lips. I've heard lots of people raving about those, and as new colors come out, they kind of reemerge, and they dry my lips out so badly that it doesn't matter how much I like it because I love the color Lolita. I cannot wear it. It sucks the life out of my lips and I can't do it. And so, just doesn't work for me. I can't really think of any more right now, but those are two that come to mind. Oh! I've heard a lot of people saying that they love this Makeup Revolution, what's this thing even called? Fast Base Stick Foundation. I do not like this. I've tried it with multiple primers, multiple powders, different setting sprays. It gets all into my smile lines, it gets into my forehead lines, and it looks terrible. And it breaks down in like 5 hours. Tops. Like, it starts breaking down before I even get done with my makeup. Can't do it. I just would love to have a stick foundation that worked for me, but I just can't. I just haven't. So I was hoping that one would work for me. It was cheap to find out, but no can do. Number 2, a product everyone hates but you love. That would be the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. I love that palette. I love the color scheme. They work fine for me as long as I do what I know I need to do, which is tap lightly, tap off my brush, go in slowly, and build up. I think it's beautiful. I just did a look with it recently, so I'll put that up there in the cards for you if you'd like to see it. Turned out beautiful. I like it. It's a very unpopular opinion, I understand that, but this is unpopular makeup tag, right? All right. Subculture. Number 3, expensive shadows, are they worth it? If you would have asked me that about a year ago, I probably would have said no. But now that I have tried Viseart, now that I have tried, I would consider Anastasia Beverly Hills expensive. I have not tried really expensive brands like Pat McGrath or Natasha Denona. I haven't tried those because they're just too pricey. I say this all the time. I say this all the time. And that is, I hope I don't like expensive products because I tried Viseart and I loved it. And now I want, every time a palette comes out, I want it. But I can't see myself trying Pat McGrath or Natasha Denona just because they're so pricey. Do I think they're worth it? Sometimes yes. Sometimes no. It's hard to say. Viseart, yes, it's worth the price tag, I think. ABH, for me, yes, it's worth the price tag. There have been some that I felt weren't that great. I can't bring any to mind at this particular moment, but I haven't tried Chanel. I haven't tried Marc Jacobs. I haven't tried Tom Ford. I haven't tried, what's the other one? Givenchy. I haven't tried a lot of the really luxury, pricey eyeshadows. So I can't really tell you, but the higher up that I have, I think they're better for the majority. There are some dupes that I think are better than the real thing, but for the majority, I think higher dollar shadows are using higher dollar ingredients, and I think generally perform better. Obviously, there's exceptions to that, but in my experience, I started out with BH Cosmetics, Coastal Scents, Wet n Wild, all these brands that I think are perfectly wonderful, and I think they're okay. I still think they're good, but I don't reach for them much because I have others that perform better, and the ones that perform better have a higher price tag. So in my experience, they are the majority of the time worth it. Number 4, a popular brand you don't like. Oh, this is probably going to get me a hate comment or two. I haven't had very much luck with Juvia's Place. I have 3 palettes by them, and I really do think they're beautiful palettes. The color is beautiful. They swatch beautifully for me, but when I try to put them on my eyes, there's no color payoff. I cannot even build them up. I've done a couple looks that I even filmed that it took me 3 times as long to get the pigmentation that I needed. I've seen them used on other people, and they look beautiful on them. Beautiful. And I don't understand why. Maybe it's a skin texture composition thing, but they don't work well for me. I hardly ever reach for them because I can't get the pigmentation that I need without having to spend a lot of time, when I can pick up another one that works perfectly well and I don't have to spend the time. I think they're beautiful. I'm always tempted to buy them, but I've stopped buying them because after the 3rd one, I figured out that they don't work for me. So I don't like them, but it doesn't mean they're bad. They just don't work for me. Number 5, a trend you can't get on board with. I can't get on board with any of the weird eyebrow things. Over the past year since I've had my channel, there have been such weird eyebrow trends. There was one where people split it in the middle and feathered it up and feathered it down, and it looked like a feather. That looked super weird to me. For a while there, people were putting soap in their eyebrows, and that looked super weird to me. One trend was even putting like a stiletto high heel for your eyebrow. Weird to me. The latest one that I saw is making your eyebrow into like a little flower garden. Making them green and then putting little flowers all in them. And, I understand, especially recently with the festival collab, I understand outside of the box doing something a little differently and all that. That's cool, and I like that. But I can't ever see a time when putting little flowers in my eyebrows and painting my eyebrows green. Like, I don't know anywhere that I can go that I could wear that. As an artistic expression, cool. But on something that I would actually wear anywhere, I can't get on board with it. Number 6, a trend you didn't like at first but now love. Baking. I was convinced that baking did nothing but make the worst kind of crepey, dry, crusty looking mess on my face. But what I didn't realize is, number 1, I was using too much powder. Number 2, that coupled with a wet or a damp, I hate the word moist, that coupled a good powder, for instance, this Peach Perfect by Too Faced, coupled with a damp beauty blender and put on the face and just hang out a little while, it does beautiful things for my skin. I never thought that I would ever be on board with it, but when I found the technique and the tools that made it work for me, it was beautiful. One thing that I didn't realize is that you don't have to bake for 15 minutes. You don't have to bake for 30 minutes. You can put it on there for a few minutes, let it sit, even a few seconds. Let it sit, brush it off, and then you have a beautiful finish. And it really does improve the lasting power of your powder and your matteness in your foundation. Number 7, highlighter. Is it overdone or can it never be enough? I think there are times it can be overdone. I like my highlighter to show up. I use a lot of highlighter. I am totally okay with that. I have seen some that look like a white stripe across somebody's cheek, and I think that's extreme, and I don't think it looks good. I think you can have a really blinding highlighter that if you buff it in a little bit looks super natural and beautiful. And I don't mean like supernatural, but super natural and looks beautiful. And so I would highlight my whole face if I thought I could get away with it. I love highlighter, and yeah, I love highlighter. So I'm going to say, yes, it can be overdone, but only in extreme cases do I think it's overdone. Number 8, an eyeshadow color you don't wear often or at all. Yellow. I don't know that I've ever put a yellow eyeshadow on my eye. Now today, I used the Jeffree Star Androgyny palette for the first time, and I did put a mustardy color in my crease, but it was an olivey mustardy color. I've recently ordered the Life's a Drag Manny MUA palette, and it has a bright yellow in it. And I've been watching all these inspiration videos, and almost every person used that yellow color. And I have to admit that I'm intrigued, and I wonder if I will actually choose that whenever I start doing looks with that palette. But I'm willing to try it, but it's not a color that I hardly ever put on my eyes. Number 9, something people on YouTube or Instagram need to stop doing. I hope this doesn't hurt anybody's feelings, because I recently on my festival look video did a slow-mo, and I was like posing and doing and looking out into the future and looking at the camera and smiling. I was proud of that look, and so I wanted to slow it down and show it off. But that's the first time I've ever done that, because I think that's extremely cheesy, okay? I just always have. Even when the big YouTubers do it, I think it's cheesy. But there are certain facial expressions that people use when they're posing for selfies that I assume that they think look sexy or seductive or, you know, that kind of vibe. But to me, it looks like they're in pain. So what I say to that is, if you ever see a picture where I look like I am in pain or constipated, I didn't really want to use that word, but it had to be said. Please tell me, and I will remove it immediately. I know that people are trying to put their best face forward, and I'm not making fun of anybody, but I have seen pictures where people look like they're in pain or constipated, and I know they're trying to look sexy, and I feel sorry for them. And I would never say, hey, you know, you look constipated in that picture. But I wish they would stop doing that. I would not hurt anybody's feelings to get them to stop doing that, but I think there are times that a smile is nice, or just a little peek at what I'm showing you on my eyes. But anyways, I'm going to stop because I'm going to stop. Number 10, a product that doesn't get enough love. Too Faced Brow Envy. It doesn't get enough love. I hardly ever see anybody talk about this. And I know it's not a new product, but it's a regular product in their line. And it's not in this packaging anymore. I have the old school packaging, but it still has the same shades and the same products. It's got a darker shade, an ashier shade, a highlight or a wax, and a highlight shade. And I don't use the highlight shade much, but I have had this thing for at least a year. And I just recently hit pan. But it's such a cute little set. It's got a little pair of tweezers, a little spoolie, and a little brush. And it's not compact, and that's probably what most people have a gripe about. I'm trying to find my other one that's a little tiny. But yeah. Like here is a powdered covered Makeup Revolution one that has basically the same stuff in it, but on a smaller scale. But this is just, I've tried probably 6 different eyebrow kits, and the texture, the pigmentation, the way it works, the way it sets my brows, all of it is perfect for me, and I never hear anybody talking about this. In fact, whenever I used it in one of my favorites or something like that, I had somebody comment and say, you got the old school one, I guess the new one is in one of those tins. But if you're looking for a good brow product, particularly if you're similar in coloring to me, this is so nice. So nice, and it will last you forever. So that's a product that I don't think gets enough love. And the funny thing about this tag is that I could probably do this again in an hour and have completely different answers. Isn't that funny how that works? It's like the makeup industry and our wants and tastes and the way that our tastes change and evolve are so fluid, aren't they? Like one minute, one thing's our favorite, and the next day something new comes out. It's overwhelming. You cannot keep up with it. I stopped trying. And I certainly stopped trying to keep up with buying everything because I'll be in the poorhouse, not have anywhere to live if I tried to buy everything that comes out. It's just impossible. And in fact, I am endeavoring to do better in that whole regard. You're going to see a change in that. I promise you. After my birthday, and I know you've heard this and you've heard all these excuses, I really am. I've had a little talk with myself, like a for real heart-to-heart and please help me, Jesus. And not saying that in a funny way, like literally prayed, please help me, Jesus. Make better decisions, control my impulsiveness, and be better. And that has nothing to do with this video. And you didn't come here to be my therapist, so I'm going to let you go. I hope you enjoyed hearing my answers to this unpopular makeup opinion tag. And if you would like to do this tag video, please do. I think for creators, it's great to have a tag video in your pocket for a time that you need a quick video or you are lacking inspiration for a moment and you need an idea. So copy these down. The questions will be in the info box and put it in your back pocket for when you need it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would appreciate a thumbs up and for you to subscribe if you haven't already. I ordinarily upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and when I do a live stream, it's on Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. So that's when you can be looking for new videos from me. But until then, take care and God bless. Bye, guys. So many people say that it's wonderful for filling in plurs. I have not tried some of the most expensive like Pat McGrath or Brain. Are you up there? Neurons, are you firing? Don't think so. That's a product that I
Here we go, it's all about you, it's all about me, it's all about what we do. Making art, you and me, trying to find something to believe because I'm running